Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. On this video, I will be driving through the city of Columbus, Georgia, and also stay tuned for other videos I do of Columbus, Georgia, because I will be doing one or two more videos of this city. Now, on this video, primarily, I'm going to be driving through the downtown area of the city. I'm also going to be driving through some of the historic parts of Columbus. So on this video, as I drive through those parts of Columbus, Georgia, I'm going to also give you some basic information about this city that might be helpful if you're considering moving here to Columbus, or maybe you might want to come here and visit. But anyhow, Columbus, Georgia is located in Muscogee County. That is Muscogee County. Muscogee. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Somebody can leave a comment below and educate me on that. But anyways, the city of Columbus, Georgia is located in the western central part of Georgia, which is located right by Phoenix City, Alabama. And as you guys see right now, I'm attempting to adjust my camera to improve the pixel quality of these videos. So on other videos I make, you will be seeing me do that because I have a bad habit of forgetting to readjust my camera whenever I press the record button. So forgive me. I'm working on it. I'm trying to improve the pixel quality of these videos here. Anyways, the population of Columbus, Georgia is 196,442 people, and it's growing at about a rate of 6% as of the 2020 census. And if you're looking to purchase a home here in Columbus, the median home price here is at $127,700. However, in my humble opinion, if you want to buy anything in this city that's decent right now, I wouldn't go much below $150,000. If you're looking to rent, the median rent prices are going to range from $613 to $1,326. And as far as the crime, the crime in this city isn't too bad. I mean, like many other major cities, it does have its fair share of crime. It's going to have its decent areas of town, and it's going to have its not so good areas of town. And like many other cities, the crime in the city has also increased. I mean, I've read some commentary on other websites when I was doing a little bit of research about this city. I can't think what the website was called. Yeah, I went on Niche, and I read a little bit of statistical information about Columbus. I read the commentary, which some of them can be quite interesting. And Columbus, like many other larger cities, the crime has went up over the years. I mean, typically in a city, whether it be large, medium sized, or smaller, whenever the population increases, typically so will the crime. But I would say, all things being considered, obviously, we all would love to live in a community where the crime is low. But in the real world, most of us are going to live in communities where, let me rephrase it. For those that desire to live in the metro, typically your crime is going to be average to above average, which doesn't necessarily mean that the city is bad. It doesn't necessarily even mean that the city is crime infested, although you get some people that love to use those words. They take those words way out of context because maybe they haven't really been nowhere and they don't really know what it's like to be or live in a city that's truly crime infested. So anyways, the crime for Columbus, Georgia is for violent crime. Violent crime is 1.6 times the national average, which is less than twice the national average, which for a major city is actually fairly good. Now, when it comes to property crime is double the national average. Now, again, who wants to have their property stolen? I know I don't. I know most of you don't. However, when it comes to property crime, in many of your major cities, property crime is typically going to run 1.5 times to, I would say, 2.5 times the national average. Now, understand one thing. When you look at the national average in concerns of crime, violent or property, the way that they figure out crime data is they take the crime data not only from larger cities, but they also take the crime data from all your smaller cities, all your small towns, all your rural communities. And in the United States, there's going to be way more small cities and rural communities, suburbs, and small towns than there's going to be major cities. So I think to some extent, when you look at what's average for any type of crime, I think to some extent, I don't think the numbers quite resemble the reality in terms of how many people live day to day, if I'm making any sense. So, like, when I look for a place to live, obviously, like most of you, I try to look for a place that's relatively low crime. Now, if property crime is double the national average, personally, I'm not going to freak out. I lived in areas that were double the national average when it came to property crime, and I personally had no issues. When it comes to violent crime, I'm not going to lie, that's where I tend to be more fussier. I mean, personally, I try to stay in areas that are not any higher than double the national average when it comes to violent crime. Okay, moving on. Columbus, Georgia is located on the Chattahoochee River. It is the second largest city in the state of Georgia. It is about a half hour from the Opelika, Auburn, Alabama area, and of course it's located right by Phoenix City, Alabama. And it's only 108 miles from Atlanta. So if Columbus doesn't offer you the entertainment or amenities that you might be looking for in a metro area, you can always drive an hour and 40 minutes, give or take, to Atlanta, which will offer you everything that you want and some, and probably things you don't want. And Columbus, Georgia is also the home of the National Infantry Museum, which is dedicated to the U.S. Army's infantry branch. And the city offers the largest urban whitewater rafting courses in the world on the Chattahoochee River. And they've been offering these courses since 2012 because that's around the time when they built that's around the time when all that was built. Now, I mean, the river was there way longer than 2012, but the way they built it, which you guys will see in a little bit here, all that was done in 2012. And the course is a 2.5 mile course, which is the longest course in the world, and apparently they offer this year round. But bear in mind, although I mean the climate in Columbus, Georgia, is very similar to mid and southern Alabama. So although we do get some cold days, we don't get days that are too cold. I mean, bear in mind the average temperature during this time of the year in this part of Georgia is going to be around 50-ish degrees. And, there's a lot of days, even during this time of the year, where, you'll have temperatures in the mid 50s, into the 60s, and even sometimes into the low 70s. So bear that in mind. Winters here in the Deep South, obviously, is going to be much warmer than winters up in the Midwest or somewhere up north. And as far as the economy in this city, some of your largest employers in this city will be Fort Benning, which is a military base south of this city. And you can also get you a job at the Muskogee County School District. I'm assuming that's probably going to entail being a school teacher, or maybe they might have other type of positions available, such as, I don't know, maybe custodial work, some type of maintenance work. I'm just speculating at this point. And you can also get you a job working for Aflac. And of course, they have a fair amount of healthcare and government employment opportunities here. And there's also Columbus State University here as well, which later on in this video, I believe it's going to be in this video, I'm not going to go into the university, but I will be driving by the Columbus State University. If it's not on this video, it's going to be on my next one. And for those of you that like your sports, I mean, as far as it goes for sports in this city, now none of these sport events are professional. They're all just local type events. You got the Columbus Lions, which basically is indoor football. You got the Columbus River Dragons, which is hockey. You got the Columbus Chattahoochee, which is basketball. And then you got the Columbus Rapids, which is indoor soccer. So for those of you that are into sports, you can attend one of those games. And for those of you that like the outdoors, I mean, other than some of the activities that you can get into on the river, such as the, let me get in my notes here. I mean, if you're an outdoor person and you enjoy water, I mean, other than the rafting course that they have on the river, they also have kayaking down there too. So if you like to kayak, you can also kayak down there. They also have a walking trail that goes along the river, which connects from downtown to the south end of the city to the northern section of Fort Benning. They also have the Columbus Fall Line Trace, which is a 11-mile fitness trail that runs from downtown to the northeast side of the city. And as far as a few things to do, now granted, I didn't name off everything that there is to do. I just named off a few things. I mean, obviously, I'm going to start by saying this when it comes to stuff to do. Now, me personally, I was fairly impressed with their downtown. Now, the Riverwalk, in my opinion, is beautiful. Now, you guys may not be able to imagine the beauty of the river, because I mean, you know, today, the day I recorded this video, it was raining, and when I came out here, it was not supposed to rain. It was actually supposed to be sunny. So just picture all of this except on a day where the sun is out and it's not raining. But anyhow, as far as a few things to do, you can go to the Coca-Cola Space Science Center. So for those of you that are into science, I mean, you know, that place will have a lot of stuff that's educational, that deals in science. You can also go to the Flat Rock Park, and they also have a Lunchbox Museum. And yes, I did say the Lunchbox Museum, which has the largest lunchbox collection in the world. Now, I looked it up a little bit. I was wondering if that museum served any type of food. I mean, I'm pretty sure they do. I was just curious if they served, I don't know, a special type of food. I don't know. But anyways, you can go to the Lunchbox Museum if you're interested in looking at all the different type of lunch boxes that have been made over the last several decades. And there's also the Columbus Museum, which is the second largest museum in the state of Georgia. And the Columbus Museum is basically an arts and history museum. And then there's also the Oxbow Meadows Environmental Learning Center. So if you're into things that deal with the environment, you can attend that center. I mean, over there, I mean, you know, they'll probably have little, I've never been in this place before, but I'm going to just speculate. You go over there, they probably got little events that talk about the different type of plants that grow in certain type of climates and things of that nature. And also, if you go to downtown Columbus, they also have like a little, this video honestly is not going to serve justice in terms of what I'm getting ready to say, but there's also a little area here in downtown Columbus to where you can, if you have teenagers and they're into skateboarding, or they're into doing all type of tricks on their bicycle, there is a place here in downtown Columbus that you can go and that you can take your kids and they can do all that. So yeah, there's that. There's the walking trail by the river, and you know, like many other downtowns of a city this size, I mean, you're gonna find your little restaurants and bars and souvenir shops, all that fun stuff. And as you guys can see, there is a fair amount of construction going on downtown. So if you see me driving over the same areas more than once, that's going to be the reason why. Because I'm trying to show you guys as much as I can show you. I'm trying to give you guys a healthy exposure of this part of Columbus. So hopefully my video is serving you guys justice on that. Alright folks, I'm gonna quit talking. I mean, you guys continue to watch and enjoy the rest of the video. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about where you can bring your teenagers, and they can either ride their bike, do tricks, or they can skateboard. This is what I was talking about right there. Alright, folks. I'm going to quit talking. You guys enjoy the rest of the video. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing that. And as always, I thank every last one of you for tuning in to another episode of Andrew's Life. So, on that note, everybody have a blessed one, and I will see you on the next one.